Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If becoming a mangaka in One Piece world. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 441, Episode 20 of Demon Slayer. Sphinx Island. The Whitebeard pirate group, consisting of Whitebeard and his sons, Marco, Jozu, Vista, Odin, Whitey Bay, and Aizu, along with Rob and Stussy, who had put on a cat mask, walked towards an abandoned place in the forest behind the village. They had managed to escape the excited crowd of villagers. Naturally, the villagers were excited as the most revered icon in their hearts had returned to his homeland after several years. During his absence, he continued to send them treasures and resources. "Kozu, are you sure she lives here?" asked Whitebeard. "Newgate, my information is completely reliable. I have already sent my competent hunters to investigate here and they found her." "You didn't find her because she didn't want to reveal her location to you, and because you simply didn't bother looking for her. All you were looking for was more sons," said Rob, smiling. Whitebeard frowned after hearing that. "I thought she was dead. How can I think of looking for someone who has been dead for a long time?" Marco and the others felt strange after hearing their father's love story and the tragic events that followed. "My coup against Captain Zebek was not only because of his evil deeds, which exceeded their limit, but because I heard that he mercilessly killed Stussy because she refused to part with me," Whitebeard continued. "According to my information, Stussy does not live alone here. There is a child accompanying her." "I think it's her son," said Rob with interest. "What did you say?" the group asked. They stopped about 100 meters away from a wooden house located among the trees and surrounded by a series of limestone rocks, for which Sphinx Island is famous. "I said that your ex-girlfriend does not live alone but has a child to take care of here," Rob repeated. "Here he is, his name is Edward Weevil." Rob pointed to the child who had just left the house and ran straight towards the foot of the limestone rocks where there is an ant colony. "As you can see, he has your name, your features, and a strong body even though he is an 11 or 12-year-old child. Doesn't that remind you of something, Newgate?" Whitebeard's eyes widened as he saw the strangely familiar child and heard what Rob said. "You said his name was Edward Weevil?" he asked. "Yes, it is," replied Rob. "You said that your little mate is a successful clone of the original Buckingham Stussy?" asked Whitebeard. "Yes, that's true," replied Rob again. "You mentioned that Stussy deliberately concealed herself and her child from me because she joined one of the emperors of the underworld named Dufeld, who attracted the best scientists in the world to his organization, known as MADS, Whitebeard repeated, seeking confirmation. "Yes, perhaps. I didn't state that it was the sole reason, but it was one of the factors since the organization was initially a secret one, focusing on human cloning, and they were successful in obtaining this dark technology. Your ex-girlfriend was the first person to be cloned flawlessly, but the world government eventually discovered and dismantled the so-called Laboratory for Peace," Rob responded. Whitebeard fell silent for a moment before saying, "You, as the author of One Piece, presumably already know the fate of the entire world, so learning a few secrets like this is not unusual. I trust you, so you're implying that Weevil is my biological son, correct?" He spoke with a tone of concern that was not evident. "Since you agreed to participate in my game's world, I am pleased to assist you. Yes, I am confident that Weevil is your son. You may consult with Dr. Vegapunk, who cloned your ex-girlfriend, to verify this," said Rob, smiling. "No need, I am certain now," Whitebeard declared. Suddenly, a blonde woman with blue eyes emerged from the wooden house, and the dishes in her hands fell to the ground as she was startled by the sight of the familiar towering man among the group of people. "Newgate!" she exclaimed in amazement, the name that she had not forgotten for even one day. After a day in the Wano country, the anticipation was palpable as everyone eagerly awaited the new episode of Demon Slayer. The excitement was particularly high as the previous episode featured the epic battle between Tanjiro and Nezuko against Rue, a powerful spider demon and one of the lower moons. The episode started as the battle reached its climax. The intense emotions of the storyline caused many viewers to shed tears. The drama was heart-wrenching, and the viewers were captivated by the brilliant storytelling and exquisite animation of this phenomenal anime. However, as with all good things, the episode had to come to an end. Nevertheless, the impact of the story and the anticipation for the next episode will remain with the viewers until the next installment of this extraordinary anime. Demon Slayer Events. Blood Demon Art. When Nezuko said that a mysterious red fire attacked the lower moon demon Rui, causing him to become disoriented. Tanjiro took advantage of this moment to cut Rui's hard neck ferociously with his sword, saying, "The bond between Nezuko and me cannot be severed by anyone." After a deadly battle, Rui's head flew apart from his body, and Nezuko's body fell to the ground as the restraints binding her disappeared. Nezuko! Nezuko! I won! I won! Tanjiro exclaimed. My father saved me. I am not sure why I was able to unleash that attack with the Kagura that has been in our family for generations. But that is what saved me. I was able to beat him. Tanjiro said. Even though I chopped off his head, he questioned as Rui's decapitated body continued walking towards him. Despite being down on the ground, Tanjiro did not stop feeling his body. Using threads to pull his head off the ground, Rui spoke, saying, "You thought you defeated me? Poor kid. Did your pathetic delusion bring you joy?" Rui continued, "I cut off my head myself with my own threads before you could chop it off." Enough, Rui said, as he paused before continuing, "I'll kill both you and your sister." I haven't been this enraged in a long time, Rui continued. When Tanjiro was almost killed, Tomioka's rescuer finally arrived and said, "You did a good job holding out until I got here. Leave the rest to me." Rui felt angry at the arrival of another human and said, "You're like an endless stream of lowlifes always getting in my way." Blood Demon Art, Cutting Thread Rotation. Rui attacked Tomioka with many bloody threads. However, Tomioka was as calm water and said, "Total concentration, water breathing, 11th form, dead calm." The raging ocean surrounding him turned into complete stillness. Tanjiro was shocked after hearing that, 11th form? While Rui did not care and said, "Who cares about your 11th form?" But when he saw his strongest attacks cut smoothly without the other party moving his sword he was terrified. What's going on? What did he do? Rui thought. The instant I got up in his face, the threads scattered. Not one of them reached him? The toughest threads of all got slashed? That's impossible. Rui shouted. One more time. These were his last words before he was easily beheaded when he blinked for the last time in his life. As the battle reached its climax, one of the spectators had poured out the sake he was about to drink, completely captivated by the amazing spectacle before him. I thought Tanjiro was done for, but who could have anticipated Jusan arriving just in time, he exclaimed. Wow, he's chopping through the demon like vegetables with such ease. Another spectator marveled. This is the difference between an ordinary demon hunter and a Hashira. It's terrifying, a third onlooker added. The water Hashira is already so powerful. I can't even imagine what the other Hashiras are capable of, someone else remarked. Let's not forget that the demon he killed was only a lower moon. What about the upper moons? And Muzan, another spectator questioned, clearly shaken by the thought. Could the Demon King really be that strong? Someone else wondered aloud. As the reactions of the viewers filled the air, Mihawk and Isho listened in, both shaking their heads in disbelief at the scene playing out before them. I really want to know more about the background of that lower moon. Why did he so desperately want a family, even if it meant resorting to intimidation? Isho mused. Well, his flashback is already playing out. But since he's dead now, I have no interest in his story. What truly interests me is that man's sword. I wonder who would win if I were to fight him, Mihawk said, his gaze fixed on Tomioka's sword. Ha, there's no question that you would win. Your Getsugeya is incredibly powerful, Isho laughed before adding. Don't overdo your praise, I'm still very weak, said my hawk. Don't sell yourself short. You're still very strong, replied Isho. Chapter 442, Episode 10 of Mangaka Kill. Thriller Bark Island. What is this? This symbol? Moria exclaimed as he saw the symbol on the flag. What is a merchant ship from the global shipping company doing on my island? He continued in shock. Moria's huge body moved across the island towards the broken island port, and he uncalmly waited for the ship that was approaching to stop little by little. After all, this island was supposed to be deserted. Only the Navy knew about it, as well as carpenters and shipbuilders who were detained to complete his grandiose project. No, Sky Sword, he must know. Moria muttered, sweating and shivering unconsciously at the thought of Rob. It can't be him who's visiting me, can it? He wondered aloud as the steel ship approached, growing increasingly tense. Finally, a huge ship stopped near the port, and a teenager with long blonde hair got off with a newsprint in his hand. Brooke said in the manga that the Thriller Bark ship was originally a small island in West Blue before it was converted into a ship and entered the Grand Line. That's why I booked a custom trip at the Global Cruise Company and told them to take me to Thriller Bark Island. The blonde-haired teenager explained. As soon as the teenager got off, the ship's staircase began to shrink again as a sign that the ship was leaving. Are you Absalom? Moria asked in shock. True, you didn't disappoint me, Captain. You recognized me. Absalom replied. Kishishishishi. Is this really you? You look completely different from your future self. Moria exclaimed in delight, approaching the short teenager and holding him by the shoulders. The person responsible for turning me into a beast man is Dr. Hogback. I haven't met him yet, and it doesn't look like we'll meet him in the future either. Sigh, that's a pity, Absalom remarked. Absalom handed the newspaper in his hand to Moria saying, Look at this, Moria-sama. Moria took the newspaper with confusion and began to peruse it. The big news in the headline was the first thing that caught his attention. The court session of the insidious surgeon and controversial character in the manga One Piece is over. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The exclusive news in the article revealed many heinous crimes that were committed against citizens of the Ballywood and Elysia kingdoms. It didn't amount to murder, but it caused mutilation of the bodies of dozens of patients and other crimes from forgery to extortion. All this was revealed in the presence of a few victims. Exclusive news. The young singer, princess of the noble family of Victoria, and the younger sister of the guild master of the Hunters Guild, Victoria Sindri, attended the conviction session of Hogback. She didn't say a word throughout the session, but she just watched. For fuck's sake! Moria exclaimed, shocked by the news. Well, it's just 10 years and he will be released, Captain. I'm planning to join you. Will you accept that? Absalom asked nervously. Kishishishi. Of course. From now on, you will be a member of my crew. Welcome back, Absalom. Moria exclaimed with delight. This time we will become stronger. We will win against the Straw Hats, he declared. Suddenly, a giant screen appeared in the air above the island, and a familiar anime began to play. This. A new episode of Mangaka Kill. Captain. There is an art store here. Incredible. Absalom exclaimed in excitement. Absalom's eyes widened and he felt a great joy exploding in his heart, only he was aware of how painful and unwilling he was to leave the island of Dolta, which contains an art store, but the bitter persecution he suffered because of his fame and notoriety forced him to leave. He didn't expect to find an art store here. Not at all. Moria laughed, Kishishishi. You're shocked, aren't you? Very shocked. I'm even speechless. The new episode seems to be very interesting. Finally, I'll see what happened with Tatsumi after he fell into the hands of Estef. Absalom replied, equally excited. Sorbet Kingdom. Bonnie, are you there? Kuma stood behind Bonnie's room door, wanting to check on her. Several weeks had passed since the strange incident that Bonnie had experienced upon learning that Kuma was a cyborg in the manga, rather than an ordinary human of flesh and blood.
After calling Rob, they discovered that Bonnie's devil fruit was unique.
It was not unusual for her to have memories of different paths her future self could take, especially after encountering a certain event in the manga that one of her future selves might have experienced. Kuma had since realized that the future, which represented the most mysterious thing in existence, no longer seemed as mysterious. "Bonnie, your favorite show, Akane ga Kill, is about to start airing, won't you watch it?" he said after he didn't hear any reply. Upon hearing this, Bonnie opened the door and a small pink head appeared. "I almost forgot about it," Bonnie finally replied. Kuma was speechless at this moment. Bonnie had been isolating herself inside her room a lot since that day, but when a particular anime show began, she left her room as if nothing had happened. Akane ga Kill events. As the episode continues to air, a scene of his death taking a shower appears, followed by a shot of Tatsumi on the bed, embarrassed and contemplating how to get out of the situation. "How did I end up in this situation again?" he wondered. No good, he thought, realizing his nervousness. "If I'm nervous, what good am I?" he questioned himself. "I have to convince her to be our ally," he resolved. "Just to do it. I am a ferocious man," he psyched himself up. "I won't be overpowered," he exclaimed, trying to calm his nerves. Suddenly, Esteth emerged from the bathroom, interrupting Tatsumi's thoughts. Her body was almost naked, which almost made him collapse. Her almost bare breasts looked like two tofu balls, too soft, and her legs looked carved out of ice, almost making Tatsumi lose consciousness. She was wearing nothing but an open white shirt. "Sorry for making you wait," she apologized. "And not at all," Tatsumi replied nervously. "Would you like a drink?" she offered. "Esteth-sama, you like me, don't you?" Tatsumi asked. As soon as he asked this question, Esteth shocked him by kissing him on the lips. "If I didn't like you, I wouldn't be doing this," she explained. She dropped him on the bed and climbed on top of him, making him even more nervous. Despite this, Tatsumi didn't forget about his mission. Then I'd like for you to hear my request," he stuttered. "Oh? What is it? Tell me," Esteth wondered curiously. "Say it clearly, so I can hear you," she added. Tatsumi nodded and began to speak. "As it is now, I hate the capital." Esteth responded, "It's natural that many people feel that way. What of it? If I'm going to fight, I don't want to fight for it. In fact, I've considered joining the Revolutionary Army," Tatsumi explained. The look on Esteth's face turned terrifying when he said that. Tatsumi continued, "Will you come to fight beside me in the Revolutionary Army? That way, the casualties and harm done would decrease." "Tatsumi!" Esteth slapped him at this moment. "What the hell are you thinking, saying that to a general of the capital's army?" Dragon's eyes widened as he witnessed the scene. "This is very bold." Kuma analyzed the situation and said, "I was expecting this, but Tatsumi's idea is very tempting. However, the consequences are equally enormous." "I've learned a lot from Professor Tatsumi," Ivanov chuckled, exploiting Esteth's love for him to join the Revolutionary Army. "And Fufufu, perhaps we can enlist many in our Revolutionary Army this way." Crocodile retorted sarcastically, "That's if you find someone who likes a disgusting person like you. And Fufufu, I know you love me, Croco boy. Don't be embarrassed, just admit it." Ivanov teased, causing veins to appear on Crocodile's forehead. He had had enough of him and wanted to tear him apart then and there. Bonnie watched the scene with disdain and remained silent. Esteth is very strong, and adding her to the Revolutionary Army would be like a checkmate in the battle against the Empire, Dragon remarked. "I'm interested to see who will win." Dragon was thrilled while watching the show and exclaimed, "This anime is great, awesome, epic. It will help us in our case a lot." Chapter 443, Episode 12 of AODS 3. I still prefer Akane ga Kill. I don't understand the point of Attack on Titan yet. Even the enemy they are facing has not been revealed yet. Anyway, maybe AOD is better than AGK, but I still prefer the latter, Dragon clarified his opinion after Crocodile asked him. This time, Kuma spoke up and said, the last episode of the previous season featured that blonde guy controlling the Beast Titan. He said it's not time yet, but the episodes of the third season are all epic.
Don't you still think Akame Kill is better than Attack on Titan? It's pointless to argue about which one is better. Let's just enjoy both. However, I still think Demon Slayer is the best, Ivankov gave his opinion.
No one asked for your opinion, Crocodile responded harshly.
Nfafufu, that's too harsh of you, Crocoboy. Ivankov teased. Stop arguing, you two.
Anyway, the highly anticipated finale of the third season will be broadcast tomorrow. We'll see if they can restore Maria's wall and fill the gap in the fence.
Also, we'll find out if they can get to Shiganshina, Dragon interrupted with a sigh.
After that, everyone continued to watch the current episode of Akame Kill.
They were so familiar with the anime that a new episode of it was released every week. Maragoa.
Imu was seated in her royal garden, her gaze piercing through the walls to fixate on the giant screen suspended in the air. It displayed the latest episode of Akame Kill, and she was hooked.
Fufu, this woman named Death looks a bit like me.
I don't know why, but I feel familiar with her, she chuckled. Her way of doing things is very satisfying. I'm sure she doesn't take the child emperor and the imperial minister too seriously. She enjoys having the souls of millions of people in her hands to decide their fate.
Undoubtedly, Imu knew the purpose of this anime.
The events in it were similar to C's world. The empire resembled the world government here, and the revolutionary army also resembled the revolutionary army here.
This anime was created to support the rebel cause. But Imu found herself drawn to Estetha's personality and means of doing things.
This way of expressing love, a kiss, right? She mused. This despotism in dealing with a lover, if only Rob-chan were as weak as Tatsumi, I would have enjoyed playing with him as my lover.
Ohara.
Suddenly, Rob, who was watching anime and having a great time with his children, felt chills all over his body.
What's going on? Rob wondered internally. You got 20,000 art points from the Queen of the World, Imu.
The accompanying green color of the notice could mean only one thing, that crazy woman liked this episode very much.
I wonder what might be the reason. And why did I get chills? Rob thought.
Meanwhile, Imu was so engrossed in the events of the episode that she began to think about how to seduce Rob and try some of Estetha's methods with him.
Maybe it will work out.
In this world, only Rob was worthy of her. If she could win him over, her eternal life would have some meaning.
How about going and fighting him again? This time the fight will be on certain conditions. I need to prepare for that.
I'll show this guy how much he underestimated me last time. Our anime production project has been bottlenecked for several months now. If we continue like this, we will keep losing citizens to the other pole, exclaimed one of the Gorosei. The best proof of this is that the celestial tribute has been continuously decreasing in recent years.
This year has decreased by 60%.
The blonde Gorosei added. This is terrible, said the Gorosei with the mustache, visibly concerned.
What can we do to stop the bleeding?
It is fortunate that the celestial dragons are entertained by the art store, which distracts them from the matters of celestial tribute.
However, can this situation last forever? Maybe in just a few years, there will be no celestial tribute left to talk about.
The sky sword is such a pain in the ass, complains Saturn. Well, there's no point in regretting the spilled milk now. Let's make up for the celestial tribute by working and collecting resources ourselves instead of relying on others to do it for us.
They still pay normal taxes anyway. The celestial tribute is just pocket money for us, said the bald Gorosei, trying to calm the others down.
The important thing is our stalled projects. The anime project, a manga project that loses many readers every day, and the energy system project that Vegapunk escaped to God nowhere, exclaimed a fifth Gorosei. The long-bearded Gorosei burst into a fit of rage. The other Gorosei's faces didn't look good either.
Ah, damn it, cursed the blonde Gorosei.
Since we couldn't get the brush devil fruit from that subordinate in Wano due to the legendary hunters there, let's look for the paint fruit.
It's the only way to help us finish the anime project, suggested Saturn. The next day. Today was the day that the inhabitants of the pirate world and fans of Attack on Titan, AOT, were eagerly anticipating. The final episode of the third season. Dad, everyone's excited to watch today's episode of AOT. Can I watch it too? It sounds like fun.
Little Robin gazed up at Rob with puppy eyes and drooping cheeks, obviously crestfallen.
Me too, Birdie.
Yamato, next to her, felt the same.
Ah, don't use that weapon against me.
I'm really going to die. Rob chuckled at his children's adorable expressions. Seeing their infinite cuteness every day made his heart melt with pure pleasure.
Come here, my little ones.
Rob gathered them into his arms, gently patting their heads. I've told you 1,000 times before, wait until you get adults to watch your dad's bloody animes.
Attack on Titan events. The final operation to retake Wall Maria will now commence.
After the last cheer, Commander Irwin announced the start of the operation with a loud shout.
Advance!
Hundreds of soldiers from the Survey Corps mounted on their horses and began to descend from the wall. Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, along with the horses of each legionnaire, charged forward.
The last episode concluded with the appearance of enemies Reiner and Berthold.
However, the wonderful ending song did not end as it usually did. Shocking scenes appeared, causing viewers to re-evaluate their expectations.
You guys? Do you have the faintest damn clue what you're doing? Levi said.
Eren, Mikasa, and Levi appeared on the roof of one of a building, where Levi beat Eren, causing Mikasa to attack him furiously in an attempt to kill him. The ending theme song then returned to normal, and the episode ended.
Marineford. What the hell is going on here? Did the operation to restore Maria's wall end with the Allies turning on each other? Sengoku exclaimed, pouring tea onto his desk even though his cup was already full.
He was clearly in shock after the recent events. Garp continued to eat his rice crackers calmly, not exaggerating the reality, as he too was deep in thought about the episode's craziness.
When will the fourth season come out? Garp wondered aloud. That girl Mikasa is so fierce. Even Commander Levi was no match for her.
Eren is extremely lucky to have her by his side, Tsuru commented with a cute smile on her face, which was starting to wrinkle. I remember you being even bougier than Mikasa in our younger days, Tsuru-chan, Zephyr chimed in. Guys, I think Commander Irwin is in danger, he might have even died, Sengoku added, causing everyone to look at him in disbelief. Stop cursing a wonderful person like Irwin, everyone thought to themselves.
Chapter 444, Solo Leveling, Red Gate Arc. Part 1. On Sphinx Island. Rob asked in a low voice, how did he escape? He broke Kairoseki's handcuffs in an unknown way and used a wine barrel to hide and fled into the turbulent sea.
I don't know if it was courage or foolishness, but he managed to escape from my hands already.
Pathetic, isn't it? Whitebeard replied calmly while drinking the wonderful wine from the art store. So, it's been 3 weeks since he ran away, and you hasn't heard anything about, right? Rob asked.
Yes, the 6th and 7th Division are looking for him madly at the moment, but to no avail. I don't know if he's alive or dead, but I don't really care.
What can a small disabled son do? Whitebeard replied. He's still alive, he has a strong destiny.
Anyway, there's no need to worry. He can't do anything but run away like a dog from now on, Rob smiled before he said.
Anyway.
I haven't thanked you yet for setting up an art store here in my hometown.
Doing so honestly means a lot to me.
You helped my sons in their last war, who were able to successfully return the body of Ors. You also helped me to meet my biological son and my wife, who I thought had died a long time ago.
What you have done for me in this short time is very significant.
You have my word, I will help you in your war against the world government if you need me, Whitebeard said gratefully.
Rob smiled after hearing that.
No doubt getting the promise of such a great pirate like Whitebeard, who does not favor fighting more than protecting his children, was a great thing to hear.
But does Rob really need help from Whitebeard at this point?
He just helped him not to refuse to participate in the game's world when he needed it. After all, Rob urgently needs Whitebeard to share. It's okay,
Even if you don't want to enter into conflict with the government right now, you will want to when Marineford arc comes. Rob smiled when he saw the confusion appear on Whitebeard's face. Marineford arc?
Whitebeard wanted to make an inquiry about this upcoming arc, but he heard his foolish crew members start singing again. On the side, Marco, Odin, Izu, Jozu, and others were all singing merrily with a small child who looked like a small version of Whitebeard.
And the one who was singing and laughing very happily, too, was Edward Weevil. Yahohoho, yahohoho. Bingsu no sake wa, tadakini yukuyo.
The attention of Whitebeard, who looked at this, was caught by a satisfied smile on his face. Although he found out that the child has a mild mental illness, Rob reassured him that he could be treated. As his child's situation is called the mild level of autism, it will only get more severe if it is not treated properly. That's what his mother, Stussy, was failing terribly.
After hearing Rob's explanation, Whitebeard felt very relieved. Any parent in the world would want to see their child with a mental problem. Your little child seems to enjoy music.
Well, be sure to use the task and reward system in his treatment. Only when he finishes a task correctly can you then give in to his requests.
Do not give in to him unless he does what you ordered him. The manga of One Piece will also play a big role in treating his low cognitive level.
He is still a child anyway, Rob spoke like an expert, and he wasn't a stranger to the situations that existed in abundance in his previous world. He quickly recognized that Weevil was autistic. I would be happy if you could take care of my son for a few years until he recovers.
Can you help me, Rob-sama? Weevil's mother, Stussy, finally spoke up.
Stussy only wanted to treat her child so that he could return to being a normal child.
Whitebeard looked at Stussy, who was almost kneeling down at her feet to beg Rob.
His expression looked solid, and his emotions were complicated.
Stussy.
I'll kill Dufeld for sure, and I'll also treat our child too.
After all, I'm Whitebeard, he exclaimed. I don't care about Dufeld.
But I want my child to heal as soon as possible, and the only way to do that is to leave him with Rob-sama, Stussy replied. Since she found out that her little sister, her clone, was Rob's wife, she felt that Rob was like a son-in-law to her, and he would not refuse her request if she made it.
Well, don't worry, I'll help you.
But, from today on, you will be legally Stussy's older sister, and the secret of her being a clone should be buried with you, Rob said while looking at Whitebeard, too.
Whitebeard understood what Rob meant and said, I'll keep the secret.
Rob nodded before grabbing the young Stussy's other hand.
It's time to go home.
I need to update the new volume of Solo Leveling, he said.
3 days later, on Thriller Bark Island. Finally. It's been a whole month since the last volume, exclaimed Moria. I can't wait to see the Army of Shadows again. Kishishishishi. Cough. Cough dash. These hot chips are killing me. Moria coughed violently after eating a handful of spicy chips. Captain, what's so special about this manhwa? I haven't read it yet, asked a curious young man, addressing Absalom.
Moria gave Absalom a strange look, as if he were looking at a madman.
What the hell? How come you haven't read Solo Leveling yet? Are you even human?
Please forgive me, Captain. I'll buy all the available volumes right away, replied Absalom, eagerly taking the million berry that Moria offered him. Go on, and don't bother me anymore, grumbled Moria, as Absalom dashed off to the shelves to buy Solo Leveling. Moria watched Absalom with disdain, but soon regained his good mood as he eagerly opened the new volume.
Solo Leveling Events.
Jinwoo was released from the job change quest dungeon early the following morning, returned to his apartment and quickly fell asleep.
However, he was abruptly awakened by the ringing of the phone. Hello? Jinwoo answered. His little sister's annoyed voice came from the other end. Huh? Are you still sleeping? Yeah, I'm a bit tired, Jinwoo replied. Check the time. Jina shouted. What time is it? Jinwoo asked. 2 o'clock. Jina responded. What? Jinwoo exclaimed. Do you remember that you have to come to school today? Jina reminded him. When do I have to be there? Jinwoo asked. 5 o'clock. Jina informed him. Upon arriving at the school, Jinwoo's little sister was confused when she saw his changed appearance. Are you really Sung Jinwoo? Jinwoo wondered curiously, what, is it strange? His little sister replied, wow. So people can change this much. I'm meeting my sister's teacher, do you want me to come in a tracksuit and slippers? Jinwoo joked. As he entered the school, Jinwoo caught the attention of the young female students with his handsome appearance. They whispered to each other, wow, who's that, and he's so handsome. They quickly realized that Jinwoo was Jina's brother, and began to gossip, isn't that Jina with him? Looks like he's her brother. Jina teased, wow, you are pretty popular. That's right. You don't have a girlfriend, do you? What were you doing last night that kept you out so late? Should I introduce you to a cute student? As a punishment, Jinwoo playfully pulled her cheek and said, don't make fun of me. You are K. I'm very sorry. Why did this turn into a slice of life? Where's the Shadow Army? I want to see them. Despite trying to maintain his patience, Moria felt annoyed that there hadn't been a single fight in the first chapter. Is this volume called the Red Gate arc? What is this Red Gate? Is that means he's going to get into the Demon's Tower again, right? Moria felt a surge of excitement at the thought. Damn it, keep going. I'll endure these boring scenes. Ah, it's good to be handsome. Only Jinwoo can compete with me in terms of handsomeness. Kishishishi. Ah, suddenly I want a cute little sister like Sung Jina. Oh, this child is Hansong-ai. What a marvel. Unknowingly, Moria found himself enjoying the slice of life scenes. He wasn't the only one, as everyone reading Solo Leveling at that moment felt the same. Oh. Huang Dongsu has arrived. No, trouble has arrived. Moria was worried about Jinwoo's safety at this moment. Chapter 445, Solo Leveling. Red Gate Arc. Part 2. Solo Leveling Events. Chiffon. Immediately call in the main attack force. Jinwoo shouted before being dragged into the Red Gate. Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Chiffon looked on helplessly. Chief. What do we do? Hunter Sung Jinwoo was being sucked into the gate. Assistant Chiffon asked nervously. This is not a problem that can be solved just by calling in the main attack force. Chiffon responded with horror. I must contact the master directly. This is a red gate. A red gate? The boss with whom Chiffon was speaking exclaimed in shock. How can a red gate appear from a C-rank gate? If that is true, I will have to come and check it out myself, said White Tiger Guildmaster, S-rank Baek Yunho. What could make Sung Jinwoo act this way, and even an S-rank hunter feel this way? Moria wondered aloud. Could it be an S-rank gate, he cried. I wonder if Jinwoo has already reached the level of an S-rank hunter, because if he hasn't, Huang Dongsu will surely kill him, Moria speculated. As Huang Dongsu closed in on Jinwoo's location, Moria eagerly anticipated the result. Come on. Hurry to your death, you idiot. I want to see what kind of shadow soldier will come out of an S-rank hunter. Kishishishi. Moria cackled with excitement. It turns out that Moria wasn't worried about Sung Jinwoo at all, he was just pretending. In Moria's opinion, Jinwoo was someone who had a shadow army and it was impossible for him to lose to a single hunter, even if that hunter was of S rank. In addition, he had Igris in his arsenal. What? The Red Gate is a portal that connects two worlds with each other. What a terrible thing! Moria exclaimed. Why are you shouting like that, Captain? I've just started reading this manhwa where the protagonist is dead. How? Absalom asked. All those who entered the double dungeon with him abandoned him and left him alone to face death, these bastards. Absalom lamented Jinwoo's fate. Fool, you will later learn that his death was the best thing that happened to him. Those bastards will all die, too.
Moria replied with a tone of contempt.
Urura Island. What power?
If only I had such power, why would I need to form beasts pirates?
I'd be a crew myself. Wararararo!
Exclaimed Kaido, watching Sung Jinwoo's raid with a mixture of awe and envy. That man Moria, who has the shadow fruit, has a power very similar to this Korean man. How about stealing it from him? Suggested Shiki with a wicked grin.
Jahahaha.
After all, a weakling like him doesn't deserve it.
What's the use of that?
We're already both devil fruit users,
replied Kaido dismissively. Have you not considered that Guy Rob has multiple devil fruits? Lightning fruit, paper fruit, barrier fruit, and maybe even a mythical zoan that allows him to turn into a hollow. And furthermore, he really had a big secret, said Shiki enviously. You gave him your daughter as a part of a deal, right?
Why don't you ask him for the secret of eating multiple devil fruits? A malicious glint appeared in Shiki's eyes as he spoke. Why do you assume that the secret of being able to eat more than one devil fruit is more valuable than the offer he made? Replied Kaido, his tone frank and clear. Old lion, sometimes I doubt your true intelligence ratio.
Are the numbers roughly the same?
Jinwoo asked, standing at the front of the ice bear's den before he whispered, "Come out." His imposing shadow stretched across the icy terrain, and the shadow soldiers emerged. The first to emerge was Igris.
Do you all understand that this is your first mission? Jinwoo inquired.
All right then, let's go, Jinwoo commanded, leading the charge forward. Seeing this scene has sent shivers down my spine.
As the king of beasts, I fear no one.
But it's fortunate that no one in our world has the power of system. Shiki paused for a moment before a new thought crossed his mind, or do they? The rapid rise of that man, Sky Sword, is unusual.
Could it be that he also possesses a system like Sung Jinwoo, wondered Shiki? Puffed. Kaido was so surprised he stopped drinking his beer. Why do I feel like I've uncovered Rob's biggest secret? Jihahaha. Shiki laughed loudly. Enough with the nonsense. If he truly had an invincible system, why hasn't he toppled the world government and claimed the throne for himself? Kaido asked seriously. Perhaps the woman known as the Lord of the Empty Throne also has a system. It's possible, isn't it? Shiki suggested. Nonsense. The system isn't some roadside candy that anyone can acquire.
Sung Jinwoo is the only person in the world with one, and he obtained it by meeting certain criteria.
What could be so special about an ordinary human like Rob? Kaido dismissed Shiki's idea. I suppose Rob doesn't have any system at all.
He's just utilizing the resources of this world more efficiently because he somehow acquired the manga of One Piece before anyone else and learned everything about this world.
Ohara. Achoo. Who's talking behind my back? Rob sneezed heavily while engrossed in reading the manhwa solo leveling with his children in company. It's definitely Mom.
I heard her muttering your name in her sleep the other day, Dad, said little Robin.
Rob gave Robin a withering glance and asked meaningfully, what was she saying? Come on, tell me in my ear.
Robin approached him and began to whisper. She was saying something like, enough is enough, don't push it anymore, Rob.
It hurts. Rob's expression hardened upon hearing that.
He quickly adjusted his posture and regained his usual smile, saying, well, stop.
Don't say any more.
But soon an innocent question from Robin broke down all his psychological barriers.
Why did you cause Mom pain? What is the thing that you were pushing more than usual? Well, Robin, let's go look for Brook, Laboon, and Sindri-chan to sing us a beautiful song. We'll dance together and sing a lot. The Hunters Guild.
An enormous concrete pillar appeared in the sky, flying at high speed above the clouds.
It continued until it reached the territory of Hunter's Island and then, at a certain moment, boom!
The concrete pillar crashed into a transparent barrier surrounding the famous skyscraper known as the Hunters Guild, but before the massive pillar falls onto the buildings below where some civilians and low hunters live, it turned into dust and spread into the air.
Bararararo!
A heavy laugh was heard as a humanoid meteorite broke through the barrier and hit the ground hard, causing the entire island to shake.
Who the hell is this big guy? Was he riding that concrete pillar? Since he was able to get through the sky barrier, he's a hunter too, isn't he?
The hunters present at the headquarters discussed the identity of the one who seemed to be breaking smoothly into the guild.
As expected from the headquarters, it looks like a modern city in the 21st century, just like the world of the Hunter's World, HXH.
That's great. The man with the W-shaped mustache and beard resembling that of a typical giant exuded such a tyrannical aura that it made every passing hunter instinctively sweat. Their sweating increased when they saw the guild symbol and the number tattooed on his arm, number 1.
It can't be. This guy, is he? The legendary hunter who was ranked first. What? Who is he?
Suddenly, the ground shook as two giants emerged from behind the guild tower.
They were legendary hunters too, Broggy and Dory. Hello, comrades in arms.
I need your help in the search for my lost big brother, but give me some time to read the new volume of Solo Leveling.
Bararararo. Burndy World laughed. Chapter 446, Roranoa Erishur. The announcement of the new volume. Next saga, Strong World? Shimatsuki Town. What do you think you're doing, kid?
Asked old man Kozaburo, glaring at a dark green-haired swordsman with 3 rings on his ear who held a sword. I want to ensure a smooth future life for my son.
Did I do something wrong? The man replied calmly.
For Furiko's sake, I'll let you go now.
Take off. I will consider myself not to have seen you today, Kozaburo replied. Sigh. Uncle Kozaburo, I need to get stronger. Why are you refusing to train me seriously? Did I do something wrong? The man wondered sadly. Kozaburo's eyes contained a strange gleam that soon disappeared. If you want to become stronger, you have to rely on yourself. Who do you think I am?
I'm just an old man who was quietly waiting for death. My mom told me that you're the only person who can teach me advanced sword arts in the entire East Blue. In order to protect my son's sword path and save my wife, I need to be stronger. Please, teach me, Uncle Kozaburo. On the side, Kushiro shook his head seeing this scene.
Hello, Erishur, how's Aunt Furiko doing? Kushiro stepped forward to help Erishur, who was bending over at the moment. Oh, that's you, Kushiro, come and help me convince your father.
Both of you stop. There's no need to procrastinate.
I have nothing to teach a brat like you. Go and create Zoro first and then come talk about the matter of your training.
Also, you won't need to use your sword to protect a town that has an art store. If you think you're weak because you haven't been mentioned in Zoro's past that appeared in the manga, that's your problem.
Zoro needs not so much a strong father as a living one.
Arashi's eyes widened when he heard that.
Uncle Kozaburo, I need to be strong to stay alive. So who told you to hold a sword and work as a ronin without ability?
Just put that sword aside and accompany your wife and mother at home. Hush.
You seem to be influenced by that useless father Pinzoro.
I wonder what Ushimaru's reaction will be when he learns that his sister married a useless person who died from a few thugs, and his son is on the right path to be like him. Arashi's eyes turned red when he heard that. He got up from his place and left quietly. The expression on his face looked very uncomfortable.
Dad, you didn't need to say that, you know. You've been too hard on Erishur. Arashi-o. Wait. Wait. Don't go.
Kushiro followed the man who seemed to have lost his soul.
TSK.
How can one become strong if only a sharp tongue can wound him? Whoever wants to use a sword has to be ready to be cut from his opponent, even if the latter does not have a sword. Unfortunately, Erishur did not hear Kozaburo's words and did not know that their purpose was only to test him. So, he showed that he was not qualified to be trained by Kozaburo.
Erishur, please don't go. Dad was just testing your will and determination, pleaded Kushiro. Erishur replied calmly, I know he didn't mean that.
Kushiro wondered, so why did you leave angry? Because even if he didn't mean to, he insulted my late father.
My father was a real man.
I will not allow anyone to insult him, even unintentionally. Dad was not a strong person, he was not rich, and he did not hold any authority. But he loved us with all his heart, and he sacrificed his life for my mother and me to continue living.
Kushiro nodded in agreement. When you want to talk. Well said. I've always had my doubts, but not anymore. You really are Zoro's future father. The voice owner continued, strange, I wonder why Oda didn't draw you in the manga.
Suddenly, a voice startled Kushiro and Arashur, causing them to tighten their grip on their swords.
They looked around and didn't see anything.
Don't worry, I'm not a threat, said the voice owner.
I just happened to overhear your conversation. We salute the protector, Sky Sword. Kushiro and Arashur showed respect and reverence for Rob. Ha ha.
No need for these compliments, guys, I'm not a protector, I'm just a deterrent.
I was passing by and saw something interesting. I heard a little about you in the past, but today I finally found out the whole truth. You really are Zoro's father. Can you tell me about the identity of the mother? Asked Rob excitedly.
Rob looked excited like a child who had found his favorite toy, quickly descended from the sky, and grabbed Arashi's tense shoulders.
Arashur didn't know what was going on.
What he didn't know is that Rob, before he came to this world, was a fanatical fan of Zoro. He had always been disappointed by Oda, who didn't reveal anything about Zoro's background neither in the manga nor in the anime.
Even in the SBS.
This continued even after the Wano arc ended, which was 99% more likely for Oda to reveal Zoro's background and pass there. But even after the Wano arc ended, Rob did not see even the shadow of Zoro's background in the manga. Unwilling, he decided to find out for himself when he transmigrated to the world of One Piece, but although he came to this island several times, only this time he managed to find Zoro's real father. It's not that he didn't think to search for him earlier using the name Roronoa, but this man didn't advertise his family name widely and wasn't famous either. He even lived in a place far from the urban sphere.
Ah! Zoro's mom?
She's my wife, her name is Tara, we only got married last year. Arashur felt nervous at the proximity of the excited Rob.
Don't be nervous, man, huh? You are the father of a main character. You wanted to train to get stronger, right? How about joining my Hunters Guild? You will definitely get stronger there. Ohara. Inside the Palace of Art. Sara, are you vomiting again? Asked Melona.
Don't worry about me, it's just a little stress from training under Big Sister Alvia, Sora replied.
That doesn't sound like stress. I've experienced this before. Maybe you're pregnant. How long have you been feeling this way? Melona whispered. PP pregnant? And no, that's not possible, Sora blushed with embarrassment. I've been feeling strange too. Could I be pregnant? Toki interrupted, accidentally overhearing their conversation. What? You too? Melona was shocked.
Unbeknownst to Rob, after he took over the fate of Judge and Odin's sons, two of his wives got pregnant at the same time. Before Rob's return to Ohara, a new art store advertisement appeared that caused a stir across the seas world and sent waves that swept everything away. The president of the World Economy newspaper and branches of traditional art stores in the New World, also one of the emperors of the underworld, Morgans left everything in his hands and ran to write the big headline of his next newspaper with his own hand. Oh my god! One Piece manga doesn't give us a break. Can you feel how fast this month has passed? A new volume is coming. One Piece manga doesn't give us a break. This title spread like wildfire and reached the 4 seas. On the flying island, Merville, the golden lion lay inside the art store like a sleeping lion. Suddenly, a yellow light enveloped the murals, which began to change. The bright light blinded the golden lion, who had to get up from his nap because of the noise caused by his crew members. New saga, Golden Lion Saga, Strong World. Ha! Are my eyes deceiving me, or did I just read my name on the wall of the art store? Maybe I'm dreaming, jihahaha. I'll go back to sleep then. Chapter 447. The Stupor of the Golden Lion. 2 store goddesses successfully impregnated. Wake up, old lion. The booming voice jolted the Golden Lion from the dream of his appearance in a manga and exhibited his might and power to the world, boasting on Kaido happily.
What? Kaido?
Why are you interrupting this admiral nap time, damn you?
Shiki snapped, reaching for his swords to take down the intruder. But Kaido spoke up before Shiki could act. The upcoming One Piece saga will feature a new main villain, Worororo. It seems you'll be a little more challenging for the protagonist than Moria was.
Kaido chuckled at his own joke. Upon arriving at the art store, Kaido was amazed by the abundance of the new arc posters on display. He laughed so hard that he shed tears.
Aren't great pirates like us supposed to be emperors in the New World, like me and Whitebeard?
Kaido quipped sarcastically.
What are you doing appearing in Paradise as a bump Luffy needs to overcome? Kaido-san, perhaps the new arc won't end with the fall of the Golden Lion. That's not necessarily the case.
I think Rob wants to show Luffy and his Nakama the reality of the new world through Golden Lion Shiki, said King, who accompanied Kaido to the art store, Merville, which had become a semi-stronghold for the Beast's pirates.
Kaido looked intently at King, and nobody knew what he was thinking.
What the hell are you talking about? It seemed that Shiki hadn't fully grasped the situation yet. Only after he had fully woken up did the new murals capture his full attention.
New saga, Golden Lion Saga, Strong World. What is this? Unbelievable. This is me?
One of the large posters depicted the upper half of the Golden Lion's body, with the helm still lodged in his head and a big grin on his face against the backdrop of a sunset. Written in large metallic letters on the poster was Strong World, the new One Piece saga.
It's really me.
The Golden Lion felt like his dreams had come true. Just a moment ago, he had dreamed of appearing in the One Piece manga and wowing the world with his awesomeness. But here he was, seeing that the next saga, the next arc, was entirely dedicated to him. Shiki was completely stunned.
Jahahaha. Finally, after Roger and Whitebeard. It's finally my turn. The world will speak of me with reverence and awe. I am the great pirate Golden Lion Shiki.
Stop it, maybe they'll laugh at you after Luffy beats you, Kaido sneered.
What did you say, Kaido?
Shiki glared at Kaido, but he quickly changed his expression to a mocking grin.
Hey, don't tell me you're jealous because I've already made an appearance and it's not your turn yet. Jihahaha. Didn't Sky Sword paint you in a dark light? You should be happy. Obviously, you're waiting for Luffy in the New World.
As for me, maybe I'll just have a chance encounter with Luffy and his comrades on their way to the Sabaody archipelago. At his current level, it's impossible for him to defeat me, even if my strength decreases several levels in the future.
TSK. Kaido couldn't help but secretly agree with Shiki's words. After all, Luffy's level was still too low at this point, especially compared to someone like Shiki, who could kill him with a wave of his hand.
Jihahaha.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't see it coming at all, exclaimed Shiki as he hugged his advertising poster with excitement. He knew that the same poster had been sold out in all the art stores, which meant that his appearance had already caused a sensation. I will post a tweet of gratitude to Sky Sword Rob on the forum, he declared.
Global Forum. The Golden Lion Shiki White Heavy Checkmark, Flying Island, Merville. Finally, my moment has arrived.
Thank you, at Sky Sword Rob, for providing a complete saga about me. I hope that my story will be presented in all its glory to the passionate audience. I'm sure it will inspire many to become like me, the great Golden Lion.
Greetings.
Golden Lion Shiki, formerly the first swordsman in the world, and currently ranked second. Formerly the first great pirate and is currently ranked second after the Pirate King, who is unworthy.
11K likes on this tweet.
2.3K replies to this tweet.
899 shares of this tweet. Reply. Isho White Heavy Checkmark, S-Rank Hunter seriously. Someone like you doesn't deserve to appear in manga. If you show up, people will only see how evil you are. Don't think we don't know about your recent crimes. You plan to kidnap a lot of Wano citizens on the day of the battle between the Guildmaster and the Lord of the Empty Throne. Dracul Myhawk White Heavy Checkmark, S-Rank Hunter Edesho, no need to argue with him. I'll make him pay the price in the next challenge. He won't stay in his second position as a swordsman for long. Sengoku White Heavy Checkmark, Fleet Admiral of the Navy at Golden Lion Shiki, what nonsense? Do you know you're going to lose your battle against the protagonist Luffy? No matter what kind of battle it is. Gecko Moria White Heavy Checkmark, West Blue at Golden Lion Shiki, the previous volume was entirely dedicated to me as the main villain. Did you see me come out to brag and thank anyone? Kishishishishi. You have fallen out of my sight, Golden Lion. Plus 2k replies. Shoo. They're here again. Garp, Sengoku, Eisho, and even those tramps Myhawk and Moria. I swear I'll make them pay the price, cursed Shiki. Initially, Shiki was happy with the immediate reaction to his tweet from the fans, but Shiki's mood turned sour when instead of the intended recipient, Rob, rude trolls responded with trolling comments. Damn trolls. Shiki quickly left the forum, only to be met with amused smiles from Kaido and King. It seems like you get excited a lot, Shiki, Kaido remarked. I didn't know that you were planning to kidnap people from Wano. For what reason? Kaido asked. I wasn't planning to kidnap people from Wano, just animals, Shiki clarified in a helpless tone. I see, Kaido nodded. Ohara. Rob's eyes widened, and his breath hitched when he finally discovered the anomaly with Sora and Toki. It's finally happened, huh? He exclaimed. Upon realizing that Sora and Toki were pregnant and in their first weeks, Rob wondered how he had not found out about it earlier. Both of you are really pregnant, he said in amazement. How could I not find out? Rob wondered in shock. Toki replied with an embarrassed smile, well dear, you've been busy all the time, moving from one island to another. Sara also nodded awkwardly, her face flushed with happiness, but the smile on her face never faded since she realized she was expecting. That doesn't justify it. I had to know. Despite the explanation, Rob felt like he should have known. He pounced on both of them, hugging them tightly. He was overjoyed at the prospect of having more biological children and siblings for his little Robin. This is incredible. Haha, he exclaimed. Thank you for this priceless gift, Toki, Sora. Have you decided on the names yet? He asked, laughing. Sora, beaming with joy, revealed, ahem. I decided that my daughter's name would be Reiju. Toki was delighted to hear that and added, and I'll call her Hyori. Ha! Rob wondered when he realized that they assumed they were having female babies. Who said they were female? He asked, although he knew the cause and effect. Because we feel it, Sora and Toki answered shyly. Rob's strange look didn't escape Sora's attention. But Sora, you don't have one baby in your belly, there are two, he said. At his current hockey observation level, he could see two small seeds in Sora's womb and not just one. Sora was taken aback by this revelation. Huh, she gasped. Chapter 448, the manga day has finally arrived. Congratulations, my dear. I'm thrilled for you and for all of us. When should we tell little Robin? Alvia whispered happily in Rob's ear as she hugged him on the bed. Upon learning that both her sisters, Toki and Sora, were pregnant, Alvia and the rest of Rob's women felt pure happiness for him. They knew how much he loved children, even those who weren't biologically his, such as Yamato, Hancock, Sandersonia, and Marigold. I would be even happier if you gave me another baby, my dear, Rob said, hugging Alvia closer to him. I would be more than happy to provide that for you, Alvia replied shyly. I know that, Rob sealed his lips with Alvia's and they both melted into each other. I'm so glad you're by my side, Alvia. Let's wait and let Robin find out for herself. It'll be a big surprise for her. After all, my beloved daughter is going to be a big sister. Rob said, still hugging his wife tenderly. Alvia agreed. The look on her face when she finds out will be priceless. By the way, Sister TT is having her first child soon and we're invited to the newborn party. I also heard that Mary is pregnant, too. The coming months will be eventful.
I already know about Cobra's wife's pregnancy, and it's great news. It's not the right time for Vivi to have been born yet, so they must have worked hard to change the plot.
What? Chris's wife is already pregnant. Is Law about to come out into this world too after Perona? Rob's reaction pleased Alvia. Who is Law? Alvia asked curiously.
You'll find out soon enough, Rob said with a playful smile before his smile turned into a pure expression of lust. Now let's have some fun, he said, as his hands swept over Alvia's body.
Maragoa. The following day was also eventful as they watched the latest One Piece episode.
In it, Navy Admiral Akiji froze Robin and some of the crew members who eventually escaped because Akiji did not consider them a real threat at this moment. Seeing these scenes, which could upset the Navy and the world government, reminded them of the mistake Kuzan made by not killing the Straw Hats before they caused chaos and disaster at Eni's lobby.
If it weren't for this event, things would not have escalated to the point of destroying Eni's lobby in both the manga and reality.
But regretting what had happened would not change anything. Rob keeps rubbing salt in the wound.
Brother, the manga is enough. Why does he keep reminding us of its events in the anime? Saturn sighed helplessly.
However, Kuzan said that he would not be as tolerant of pirates as he was in the manga, said one of the Gorosei.
It doesn't matter. Let's think about the future.
What do you think we will see regarding Shiki in the next chapters of the manga? The bald Gorosei wondered curiously. Maybe his battles with our navy, with Roger pirates, and Whitebeard pirates. I just hope he doesn't mention the Rocks pirates in any way, the long-bearded Gorosei said quietly.
I don't think he will.
After all, the only people among the dead who deserve to be honored are the likes of Noland and Calgara. Don't forget that John's body appeared in the previous arc, and his appearance caused a frenzy among pirates who decided to search for his treasure like crazy men. If it weren't for our competent hunters, a bigger incident would have occurred only because of John's treasure, said Gorosei with the mustache.
Well, we can only anticipate the unexpected in the manga.
Regarding the incident of the pirate rampage because of John's treasure, our hunters discovered a big fish in a wine barrel. Yes, who would have expected that the hero of future events in the manga would fall into our hands in this way? His condition was really tragic.
Young Marshal D. Teach.
As each passing day went by, new anime episodes aired and ended, causing people to feel the excitement that eventually subsided while they eagerly awaited the release of the next episode. Anime series such as Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and Akane Kill were highly regarded, along with long-standing favorites like One Piece and Naruto Shippuden, which officially debuted a week ago. Despite the abundance of interesting and diverse anime options, the monthly release of a full arc in the One Piece manga held an irreplaceable status, earning it its biblical title. Today marks the longest day of the month and the release of the new volume of One Piece manga.
Fans eagerly anticipate the newest chapter in the series.
In the New World's Merville, numerous islands floated in the sky like sparkling crystals over Urura Island. The sight was like something out of a fairy tale, leaving eyewitnesses in awe. It's not quite the same as the real Sky Islands, but it's still pretty amazing. It just shows how powerful Shiki really is, thought a member of Beast's Pirates.
Jihahaha, laughed Shiki with excitement. It's my day. It's finally here. Let's see what new adventures await me in this chapter. I'm so excited, exclaimed Shiki. Dr. Indigo. I want you to tell every worker, employee, and pirate in my crew that today is a holiday. No work. Today, we'll celebrate. Shiki bellowed. Jahahaha. Open the safe. Bring all the accumulated money here.
Yes, Captain, replied Dr. Indigo, a young man who was not dressed like a clown, as he hurried to fulfill Shiki's orders. When Shiki saw the familiar green light from the art store beacon, he felt even more excited than before. This was his own arc, and he couldn't wait to dive in.
Chapter 449, 3 Admirals target 1 legendary hunter. Red Line Port. What's the plan again? Sakazuki, now nicknamed Akainu, one of the admirals of the Navy in the new deterrent force in the hands of the world government, asked while sitting in the cabin of the ship.
We're going to eliminate one of the legendary hunters on the list, responded another admiral wearing a yellow jacket and sunglasses, who was Borsellino, currently widely known as Kizaru. Arara, let's see the list one last time, a third person spoke, releasing cold breaths from his mouth.
He was wearing an all-blue Navy uniform and putting his sunglasses on his forehead. It was Kuzan, the new admiral known as Akiji.
Here it is. Kizaru pointed to a sheet of paper laid aside on the table.
The following is written on the sheet. Legendary Hunter Number 10, Dracul Mihawk. Current location, Wano Country. Assassination success rate, 2%. Mission death rate, 50%. Legendary Hunter Number 9, Patrick Redfield. Current location, Greenbit. Assassination success rate, 10%. Mission death rate, 10%. Legendary Hunter Number 8, Shaki. Current location, Amazon Lily. Assassination success rate, 0%. Mission death rate, 10%. Legendary Hunter Number 7, Giant Broggy. Current location, Hunter's Island. Assassination success rate, 0%. Mission death rate, 90%. Legendary Hunter Number 6, Giant Dory. Current location, Hunter's Island. Assassination success rate, 0%. Mission death rate, 90%. Legendary Hunter Number 5, Isho. Current location, Wano Country. Assassination success rate, 1%. Mission death rate, 50%. Legendary Hunter Number 4, Douglas Bullet. Current location, Dressrosa. Assassination success rate, 10%. Mission death rate, 10%. Legendary Hunter Number 3, Belmere. Current location, O'Hara. Assassination success rate, 0%. Mission death rate, 100%. Legendary Hunter Number 2, Nico Olivia. Current location, O'Hara. Assassination success rate, 0%. Mission death rate, 100%. Legendary Hunter Number 1, Brindy World. Current location, near Jaya Island. Assassination success rate, 20%. Mission death rate, 5%.
Interesting, Akiji said after perusing all the details on the sheet, nodding his head.
Akainu, do you think we can successfully go to O'Hara and come out alive?
He asked with a rigid expression. Akainu maintained his violent expression, but his forehead couldn't stop from shrinking. He was getting upset.
Let's target Brindy World first. He is the only one who is away from an art store.
If he stayed on Hunter's Island, he would have escaped being targeted by us. When Kizaru saw the tense atmosphere between Akainu and Akiji, he intervened to resolve the conflict before it started, as he was used to doing. Especially after the half-year they spent together in the secret unit of the world government, when they entered at the level of vice admiral and came out at the level of admiral after sacrificing 5 years of their life inside.
What about Douglas Bullet and Pato?
They also have a high mission success rate.
If we succeed in eliminating Brindy World, they will warn of our attack and run away. We need to be quick, wondered Akainu.
Don't forget that they are near art stores. If we don't succeed in separating them from the nearest art store, it's impossible to succeed in the assassination. Akiji opposed Akainu's idea again.
This time, Akainu couldn't bring any opposition, as Akiji was right. Our task is to kill or injure only one of the legendary hunters.
The first classifier on them happened to be a perfect target. When everyone is busy with the new One Piece volume, we will eliminate him silently and return silently, Kizaru said calmly, before turning around to meet 2 CP0 agents who were wearing masks as usual.
Well, the mission is officially underway.
We have chosen the legendary hunter number 1 as our target. Now it's time to start the support mission that you have been assigned, he continued. Well, came the reply from the masked agent who was sitting all the time, wearing a white tiger mask. The agent then moved both hands and brought them together in the form of a ball. The merchant ship without any symbol began to shrink strangely until it disappeared into thin air. The ship disappeared from the Red Line port under mysterious circumstances and immediately appeared 10 kilometers inside the Sea of Paradise officially. The ship continued to appear intermittently every 10 kilometers on the sea until it disappeared over the horizon. Half an hour later, the ship appeared in the sea near the island of Jaya. "Now it's your turn," the tiger masked agent clasped his hand and sat down to rest.
"Okay," the second gorilla masked agent nodded before moving.
His body was very bulky, but he also looked very graceful.
The gorilla masked agent opened a door into the void before entering.
The three admirals looked at each other before following behind the two agents who entered the door into the void.
"It seems that we have arrived near Jaya."
"The space abilities are really impressive," Kizaru said with envy.
"Go, don't delay us." "We still have to look for the damn fugitive," Akaino said angrily.
As the world government covertly conspired to deal a devastating blow to Rob and his guild, Rob had already released the latest volume. He deftly adapted the popular film, Strong World, into a seamless addition to the manga, seamlessly integrating it with the ongoing events of the One Piece series in just 2 days.
Ohara.
Starting now, you both have no work to do. You'll be staying in the palace for the next 8 months and enjoying yourselves until you safely give birth, Rob said, smiling as he looked at his two cute wives.
What? Why?
Pregnancy won't affect us in any way, dear. You're just being overprotective, Toki huffed in anger, but her cute expression only made Rob want to tease her more.
That's right, dear. It's just pregnancy, Sora added, puffing her cheeks.
She couldn't imagine going a day without entering the art store, let alone not working for several months. Look who's talking, my wife who's pregnant with twins, Rob said before playfully grabbing both of them by the waist and taking them to the art palace, under the playful glances of Glora, Alvia, Otoheim, Belmir, Melona, Stussy, and Maitreya, note, Doflamingo's mom. I can't believe Sora is pregnant with twins. This is wonderful. I wish I could get pregnant with Nami and Nojiko at once, Belmir said sadly. Ha, you just have to put in some extra effort with Rob tonight, Bella-chan, and your wish will come true, Alvia teased. Well, girls, it's time to get to work. The volume has officially been released, Otoheim said with a smile to ease the awkward atmosphere.
Yes, I almost forgot.
The rest of the women put on their venerable maid expressions and began their job officially.
Chapter 450, Golden Lion Shiki Saga, Strong World Arc. Part 1. Flying Island, Merville. One Piece Events. Marine Ford.
Fleet Admiral Calm, Roger, and Golden Lion have made contact in the Ed Sea over in the New World. The Navy headquarters received urgent official news that two powerful pirate groups had collided, causing great panic. I heard, replied Garp, a young man with black hair and some gray hair during this time period, coming out of the office after hearing the orders.
Wait, Garp. We're not finished talking, exclaimed Kong.
You may not be done, but I am, replied Garp.
Garp, come back here. Kong was still dissatisfied with Garp's response.
Garp closed the door of the fleet admiral's room behind him and left without further ado. At that moment, a young man approached him, saying, Garp-san, did you turn down your promotion again?
That's so cool of you.
The young man was Kuzan. I can do as I please, so I don't need a higher rank, replied Garp.
Suru-chan, let me come along if you're sailing out there. Nobody invited you to go, did they?
Suru, who looked taller than her future version, scoffed, but her hair was entirely white. You'll break the ship as soon as you board, so I don't want you with me.
Don't say that.
I'll be the one to take down that damn Roger, Garp said with a smile.
Garp.
I was entrusted with the Shiki case, said Sengoku, who was still an admiral when he saw Garp arrive. Stay out of this.
Oh, never mind me.
I'll let you take all the credit, replied Garp.
That's not what I meant. Wahahaha. Garp laughed at Sengoku's awkward response.
Wow, Admiral Sengoku and Vice Admiral Garp are both going. The Vice Admirals were delighted to see this spectacle. Well, it is Roger after all.
Garp-san just can't leave him alone, said Momonga.
The New World. Captain Roger. Your life comes first, doesn't it? Just this once, we should listen to what the Golden Lion says. The young buggy cried out in tears to change his captain's decision, but the young Shanks spoke instead. Hey, your body won't let you die no matter how many times they cut you, so why do you care?
I still have weaknesses, you dumbass, exclaimed Buggy. Oh yeah, Crocus-san. How is the captain's condition? He'd be better off not fighting, right? Please, medically relieve him. Buggy asked. Unfortunately for you, he's in perfect shape. Crocus replied contemptuously. Rayleigh-san.
When Buggy lost hope in Crocus, he turned to Rayleigh but was stopped by Gaban. Just give it up. We've been together a long time, and we've never been able to stop Roger.
No way, exclaimed Buggy.
Have faith in Tom's ship, the Oro Jackson, said Rayleigh.
Roger doesn't have much time left. How many times have we had this discussion, Roger? A lot of things have happened between us, but let's put the past behind us.
Standing on his ship, heading a huge fleet of ships, the Golden Lion Shiki spoke arrogantly. We'll use that apocalyptic weapon you found and my military might. And then, with the perfect plan I've spent so many years developing, we can conquer the entire world at once.
Become my right-hand man, Roger.
I have no interest in conquering anything, Shiki, replied Roger.
This is flashback. It's flashback. Why does this sound so familiar? Isn't that the same line I said to Roger before the Larva Archipelago's war?
Shiki's eyes widened, and his breath tightened at the sight of the scene before him. His huge fleet was besieging Roger's lonely ship amidst the turbulent steam.
Would the Navy have intervened here too? Isn't this the turbulent Ed Sea? Shiki wondered aloud. Stop yelling, Shiki. That won't change anything, Warororo.
I heard that you suffered a cruel defeat in the Larva Archipelago's war.
Today, we'll see the same results in a different war, Kaido said, laughing.
There's no doubt that if the Larva Archipelago's war hadn't happened, we would have seen the Ed War anyway.
There's no escaping fate. I wonder what the outcome of this war will be. Will the ship's steering wheel hang on your head here too, Shiki, Warororo? Kaido laughed until his eyes teared up. You bastard, Kaido. Are you making fun of me? Take a good look at Roger's condition here. He's so sick that he looks like he's about to die.
Unlike his status as a pirate king in the Larva Archipelago's war, he doesn't seem to have any strength to resist.
There's no doubt I will win. Just keep going. Shiki ground his teeth before giving a logical answer.
I just hope those bastards Garp and Sengoku don't arrive in time and get involved as they did in the Larva Archipelago's war. When Shiki remembered the events of the Larva Archipelago's war, he felt a strong hatred rising in his heart that would not be extinguished until the world was destroyed. This hatred stemmed from the pain he felt during that war. Shiki believed that he lost badly in the war because Garp and Roger were secretly intensifying their blows against him and his fleet.
Don't be angry, Shiki.
You will take revenge one day, Kaido said.
Kaido-san, why is Garp refusing to be promoted to admiral? King wondered curiously.
That's just the nature of that man, Albert. Garp has a pirate soul inside the body of a marine hero, Kaido replied.
Jahahaha.
He just hates the celestial dragons and does not want to carry out their orders, but he does not dare to disobey them openly.
This man is just a coward.
You will find out the truth about him later in the manga. Shiki despised Garp so much that he did not want to hear anyone praising him in front of him.
Marine Ford.
Sengoku wore a helpless expression as he said, Garp, this is bad. This volume started off hot and exposed your refusal to upgrade from the very beginning. The 5 elders, celestial dragons, and that lord in disguise in Marigoa might feel offended. There could be a backlash.
Garp just laughed, wahahaha.
As if I cared. He continued munching on the mouth-watering candies he bought at the art store while reading the intriguing first chapter. He too never expected to see such scenes in the manga.
Wasn't his grandson and his companions heading towards the Sabaody archipelago? Why did the manga storyline go back more than 2 decades without warning?
It wasn't just Garp who was wondering about this, everyone in the world was curious. Zephyr chimed in, obviously, this volume belongs to that golden lion, so it will remember its own past. But I didn't expect it to start from the very beginning. That's pretty cool. Tsuru-chan looks so beautiful here. Oh, Kong-san also appeared for the first time. Isn't that Sol, Kuzan, Borsellino, and Sakazuki too? Zephyr sighed, why haven't I shown up yet? Zephyr was disappointed that he hadn't made his manga debut yet. That wraps up this part of What If Becoming a Mangaka in One Piece World. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well. See you in the next one.